Two quotes sitting on your kitchen counter right now. One from a Trane dealer, one from a Goodman contractor. And the gap between them is probably somewhere north of $6,000. You're staring at that number and asking yourself the same question every homeowner asks. What exactly am I paying for? That is what this video is going to answer. And the answer is not what the Trane dealer told you. Most people assume the price gap between a premium brand and a value brand comes down to what's inside the box. Better parts, better engineering, tighter tolerances. That is the conventional story. But there is a second story, one that lives in distribution contracts and dealer margin structures, and it explains most of that $6,000 before you ever get to a single component comparison. We are going to walk through it piece by piece with specific model numbers, specific companies, and specific dollar figures. And at the end, there is a checklist of exactly what to demand in writing before you sign anything. One more thing before we get into it. The last reveal in this video is the one that almost nobody catches until after the install is done. By then, it can cost you between $1,600 and $3,100. Stay with it. Here is where it starts. Pull the access panel off either of those systems sitting in your quote. Find the compressor, the large cylindrical component that is the heart of the entire system. On a Trane, on a Goodman, and on most of the other major residential brands, there is a very good chance you are looking at a Copeland scroll compressor. Copeland's product portfolio includes compressors, controls, thermostats, valves, software, and monitoring solutions for residential, commercial, and industrial customers. Trane did not build it. Goodman did not build it. Neither company owns the factory that makes it. Here is who does own it. Emerson sold a controlling interest in its climate technologies business to Blackstone in October 2022 in a transaction valued at $14 billion. This included the Copeland compressor and Alco valves businesses and the entire portfolio of products and services across all HVAC and refrigeration end markets. Emerson then sold its remaining 40% interest to Blackstone for a transaction value of approximately $3.5 billion, exiting entirely. The new standalone business is named Copeland, building on the brand's 100-year legacy. Copeland operates in St. Louis, Missouri. Valued at $14 billion, it manufactures compressors, controls, valves, and other technologies for residential, commercial, and industrial applications. Copeland had net sales of $5 billion in fiscal year 2022 and has over 18,000 employees. So the single most expensive component inside a system that a dealer is charging you a premium to install, the part the warranty language specifically calls out, is built by a private equity-owned supplier that has no brand loyalty to either name on the box. Copeland sells to Trane. Copeland sells to Goodman. The compressor does not know which badge gets bolted to the cabinet. That matters because the compressor is the primary justification dealers give you for the Trane price. Trane uses a better compressor. In many configurations, they are using the same one. Now, does that mean the two systems are identical? No, that is not the accurate claim, and we are not going to make it. Trane does have proprietary engineering, the spine fin all aluminum coil design, the variable speed true comfort inverter platform on the XD20i, heavier cabinet construction. Trane's flagship inverter heat pumps and the spine fin coil are real engineering, and the brand's top tiers hold efficiency and comfort with anyone. Those are real differences at the top of the lineup. The question is whether those differences account for a $6,000 gap. And this is where the distribution model enters the picture. Trane, part of Trane Technologies, is distributed exclusively through authorized dealers, which means strong contractor lock-in and premium retail pricing. There is no factory direct path for a homeowner. You cannot go to a supply house and price check a Trane unit the way you can price check a Goodman. The retail price you receive in a quote already includes a dealer margin that, depending on the contractor and the market, runs between 30 and 50% over wholesale. You are not just buying a system, You are funding the entire closed distribution network that delivered it to your driveway. Goodman operates differently. Goodman is owned by Daikin, the world's largest HVAC manufacturer by revenue. Goodman is Daikin's primary North American residential brand. Less marketing spend, more distribution flexibility, and a value-focused positioning has made it one of the most installed residential furnace brands in the US. Goodman moves through open wholesale distribution. It is available at Home Depot. It is available at hvacdirect.com. A homeowner can look up the hardware cost independently and then evaluate what a contractor is charging for labor and overhead on top of it. That transparency is structurally impossible with Trane. Trane Technologies is headquartered in Swords, Ireland. The corporate parent is an Irish domiciled company. Goodman is built at the Daikin, Texas Technology Park outside Houston. Two very different corporate structures, two very different distribution philosophies, and one of those philosophies is specifically designed so that you cannot comparison shop the hardware. Here is something that sharpens this point. Goodman's entry-level GMSS 96 actually has slightly higher rated efficiency at 96% AFUE than Trane's entry XB95 at 95%. At the entry tier, the efficiency ranking inverts. The budget brand wins on paper, and yet the Trane quote is still higher. That gap is not coming from the spec sheet. It is coming from the channel. Now here is the version of this story that runs inside Goodman's own parent company, and this is the one that should really get your attention. Daikin owns Goodman. Daikin also sells Daikin branded residential equipment in North America through a separate channel, the Daikin Comfort Pro dealer network. Take a Goodman GMSS 96 furnace and a Daikin DM96 VE. The heat exchangers, gas valves, control boards, blower motors, and igniters in those two units come from the same suppliers. They are functionally the same furnace with different labels and different distribution channels. Daikin branded equipment typically prices 30 to 60% above Goodman on installed quotes. The badge premium exists inside the value brand's own parent company. The same manufacturer is running the same playbook twice at two different price points on two different dealer networks. That is not an accident. That is a business model. And if you are watching this and thinking you will just buy Trane because the parts will be easier to get when something breaks, that assumption is worth examining too. Goodman and Daikin parts are stocked at virtually every HVAC supply house in North America. An independent technician can walk in, pull what they need, and be at your house the same day. Trane parts flow through Trane supply branches. Many independent technicians do not carry Trane-specific components on the truck. During peak summer, which is exactly when your system is most likely to fail and most likely to be running hardest, that can mean 1 to 2 days of downtime while a part gets ordered in. Several components on the top-tier XV20i are unique to that line and not stocked at smaller branches. The premium brand can actually mean a slower repair, not a faster one. So, to recap where we are, the compressor justification does not hold at matched specs. The price gap is largely a distribution margin, not a manufacturing cost. The efficiency advantage at the entry tier goes to Goodman, and the parts availability story runs counter to what most homeowners assume. That is a lot of pressure on the one remaining argument for the premium, the warranty. This is the part almost nobody reads until it is too late. Both Trane and Goodman offer a 10-year parts warranty. Both require you to register the system within 60 days of installation to receive it. If you miss that window, both brands drop coverage to a 5-year base limited warranty. That is the same cliff on both brands, and a significant number of homeowners fall off it because the contractor handles registration and the homeowner assumes it happened. But here is where the Trane math gets specific. Failing to register a Trane system does not just shorten your parts coverage. It eliminates the lifetime compressor warranty, the exact feature that is most often cited to justify the premium price. The cost of that oversight, in terms of what you would pay out of pocket to replace a compressor outside of warranty, runs between $1,600 and $3,100 on a Trane system. You paid a significant premium for a warranty. You missed a 60-day deadline. The warranty that justified the premium is gone. And on resale, Trane transfers limited coverage to the next owner, but not the lifetime compressor warranty. That stays with the original registered owner only. If you sell the house in year 4, the buyer gets a truncated warranty, not the coverage you were sold. State exceptions apply here, and they are worth knowing. California and Quebec residents do not need to register to receive full warranty rights. In Florida, as of July 1st, 2024, failure to register does not reduce coverage length under state law. If you are in one of those jurisdictions, the registration cliff does not apply to you the same way. If you are not, it does. So, here's the checklist. This is what you do before you sign anything. First, get the model number of every piece of equipment in the quote, outdoor unit, indoor coil, air handler, or furnace thermostat. Then, look up that model number independently. For Goodman, you can price check the hardware at open wholesale distributors. For Trane, you cannot, but you can at minimum verify the SEER 2 rating, the compressor type, and the warranty language directly on Trane's website. Do not let a dealer summarize the warranty for you. Read the actual document. Second, ask your contractor to confirm in writing who is responsible for warranty registration and by what date. Get a specific date, not a general assurance. If the contractor is handling it, ask for written confirmation that it was completed. If you are handling it, set a calendar reminder for 45 days post-install, not 60. Third, compare at matched tiers. The fair comparison is always tier against tier. Judging a brand's entry unit against another's flagship tells you nothing useful. If you are being quoted a Trane XR series against a Goodman entry unit, that is not an apples comparison. Ask for the equivalent SEER 2 rating, equivalent staging, and equivalent blower motor type on both sides. Fourth, ask your contractor which supply houses stock their brand's parts locally. Ask specifically whether they carry common service components on the truck or order them in. In a Texas August or a Georgia July, the answer to that question has real consequences. If you are getting multiple quotes right now and something in this video changed how you are reading them, drop your question in the comments. Specific questions about model numbers, warranty language, or quote structures, put them there. Other homeowners in the same position will find them useful, and we read them. If you want to go deeper on how the brand consolidation in this industry actually works, how 54 brand names in the US market trace back to 8 manufacturers, that video is linked right here. It is the context that makes everything in this video make more sense. The 2 quotes on your counter are real. The $6,000 gap is real. But now you know exactly where it comes from, and you know the 4 questions to ask before it costs you anything more.